Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks. I got a new project today. I just come from the auction and I bought a great big beam, a I-beam it was a 16-foot I-beam, kind of up on a stand, 12-inch I-beam, 16-foot long. Pretty heavy duty I-beam, and this was attached to the I-beam. I thought, that's a pretty good looking vise. It's a Hollands, made in Erie, Pennsylvania. And so I ended up bidding on it, and I got the vise and the 16-foot I-beam for 90 bucks. I don't know how you can go wrong on that. So it doesn't have any cracks in it. This hasn't been used as an anvil, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to start taking it apart. I've already started the process here. I've got it clamped to the bench, so I'm just going to continue to take it apart, and we'll see what kind of condition it looks like inside. I'm not really dressed for this. I just come from the auction, and I really not in my shop clothes right now, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of in-depth work on it today, but I figured I'd take a look at it and let you guys kind of come along for the ride. It opens and closes just fine. It's a little bit tight here in the end, but that's to be expected. It's got a lot of gum and stuff up in that greased up shaft, the screw that's in it. So, well, I think I just broke free here. PB blaster. And believe it or not, it's moving pretty freely, surprisingly. There we go. So there's our shaft. That's kind of why it had some junk here. Boy, the shaft looks fantastic. It's really nice. So that's exciting. I'm not worried about, I don't know if the bend on this, don't worry about that. That's really easy to heat up and put that on the anvil. Just straighten that out. That's just a block of wood so I can hit it and not worry about. I'll flip it over and take a look in here and make sure I don't have something. Here's my collar. Looks fantastic too. I'm going to refresh this little vise. I'm not going to say restore it, but I am going to refresh it. Alright, well, I think I'm getting a little closer here. I'll just continue to go nice and slow. Ready to go. There she is. pinned in just for you guys at home that might not know how the vise is put together. It's got a dovetail right here, and that's how the nut of the vise works. See if I can get that tilted for you a little bit. So that pin comes up through the bottom. You would knock the pin out this way, and once you do that, you can just back the nut out of that dovetail and do what you need to do. In my case, the nut is in really good shape. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start reassembling it with some lubricant and try to get it all back together in good shape so that it works like it did when it was new. I'm just looking down the threads of this shaft with the Acme threads on it, and it is straight. You do not want that bent. This can be bent. You do not want that bent. And this is a high temp grease and an extreme pressure. Obviously I'm not needing the high temp, but it won't hurt in my case either. I'm just going to start off putting a little bit of that grease in the nut. One piece I have not cleaned up yet is this little collar. It's a retaining collar. So let me clean that up. I'm going to clean that up off camera, which is it's just a simple, I'm going to take a little brush to it, steel brush, and clean just crud off of it. So no big deal. Won't take me a minute. Alright, let's see if we can't get this thing back together. Should go together a little easier than it came apart. Hardest part is kind of juggling everything. It is really heavy. Alright. She is in. It is a snug fit. Okay, so I want to do this in a way that you guys can see it and understand what I'm doing. So that set screw goes right in that little indentation, and that's what keeps it from being able to pull out of this. So, sticking it in, and I'm sorry if I'm being too simplistic, maybe for some of you, too basic, but there may be somebody watching this that has never done it. So now I've made contact right there with the nut, okay, and my collar is still, or my collar is not where it needs to be yet. So what I need to do is pull this out just a little bit. I don't know if anything I just said made sense. Just realize that. Okay. All right, so now I'm touching the nut. And I've got going just a hair. Okay. Now I believe I'm exactly where I need to be. So my set screw is right above my little hole that I had, or my little recess in that shaft. So now I'm going to screw that down and just set that in there. Now that should go in there pretty decently, and it does. Recesses, that tells me I got in the hole. If my set screw doesn't screw in very far, then I'm probably not in that little hole or indentation. Okay, so now just a matter of screwing it in. Let's flip it over now. It's heavy. Okay, so you can see them coming through now pretty easily. It was nice and smooth. Jaws meet up really well. My plan was never to restore this vise. I think I said from the very beginning it was really to refresh it. And that's really my intention. Get it operating and functioning the way it's supposed to. Get everything lubed up, cleaned up. And then I'll mount it and I'll use it. Well guys, here it is in its final resting place. I've bolted it to the to my welding table. Give you a little bit different view here. So it's on my welding table, and I went ahead and moved that vise and just connected it to my forge table, and that way you know, it's a little handier, a little closer right there. And so now this one is my vise that I've got mounted on my welding table, and I do have another one right over there, but I am probably going to remove that one. That's just a cheap Craftsman that I'll probably put on the woodworking bench over there. So hey guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, have a good day.